What would you say your biggest failure as a freelancer? Like not just like a project failure, but one could be this work-life balance. It could be a thing. But then apart from this, what you would say is your a downfall for you as a freelancer where you felt very low that why I'm into freelancing.
So I look at failures very differently. It's since the beginning of life, like beginning of my work, I think college, when I started looking at failure as opportunity to change, to do something better, to just make it my strength. So, like every other girl in the society, I had body image issues, and that I thought is a big failure, and I won't be able to succeed with it anywhere. But I realized that it's also an opportunity for me to come up with ways to make my physical health a little bit better, or to and a strength which will help me understand myself a little bit better. You understand all these things when you are in the process, when you actually understand being fit and understanding the importance of being fit. So yeah, I'd say with this whole work-life balance also, it was initially a big failure for me that I wasn't able to do it. It was either work or it was not no work and me just lazy all the time. But looking at a failure as an opportunity to change, to do something better with your life, to just get up one day and be like, no, let's try something else. And like 50% of the time I failed again and again and again. I love failing now. It's a weird thing to say, but I do like to fail to actually explore the next thing. So yeah, it's become a good thing now. I don't look at it as a negative thing to fail. So there are small failures, like I couldn't balance my time, so I started doing this thing called like my week starts on a Friday. So
Okay.
for on my calendar, it starts on a Friday, which where I'm not taking a break throughout the week, but I am also taking break whenever I need to. So I broke down that Saturday Sunday thing for myself, for my brain, and that helped me in terms of I can, like in freelance you can actually take a break, but your mind is not okay with it. Your mind is like, no, Saturday Sunday take a break, or it's the week, so work hard. But I to break it down. Then I have all these calendars where it has like ticks and all, and I'm like, okay, if I miss something for 2 days, I make sure I do it the third day. Say workout, say eating right, or say having a lot of water. These are basic things on it. But I make sure I do this. I don't make the third cross on the thing. Yeah, so I guess that's just tricking your mind and understanding where you are. So one more thing is that everybody has their own journey. Everybody has their own ways of working, or like different styles of how they work, function, understand the world. But you need to keep at it and keep exploring what does and what doesn't work for you. So that's different for everybody else. But you gotta keep trying, keep going. Just do it. And it's okay to fail. I love to fail. You fail and then you restart as soon as possible. Like just restart. It's okay to fail. That's how I look at it.
I have a very interesting question for you now. See, freelancing, like you have an amazing mindset over things. Like, probably it's built up by the experience you had in your journey. So, like rephrase the question as well. So, during the like freelancing, as a freelancer, it is very tough for an individual to go ahead with their journey and stuff. And sometimes it gets very lonely as well. And to overcome that, you have to have that positive mindset which you already have in yourself. So how you actually built that in yourself, how you got to the level that you are very positive, you see things in a very positive way. From if it gets like talking about your failures and stuff, so if it gets in the left direction as well, you somehow see it in a very positive way, how you built it in yourself, because it is, I guess, very important for a freelancer to have that mindset in themselves.
Yeah, I completely agree. I can tell only my story and like my experience, how I understood the importance of being positive is when I was in London. Uh, it was 4 months when I was in a lot of depression, and I didn't get out of my room, didn't get out of the campus, didn't go to college, didn't eat, didn't do anything at all, stayed in my room, didn't do anything. The weather hit actually, but uh, that's what the state of mind was, where I lost aspiration. I used to wake up and be like, oh, when will I get to sleep again? How do I get through the day? There were dreams that were really bad, and I was all by myself. Uh, Tried to make friends, but because I wasn't in the right mindset, I couldn't actually even talk to people. Then summers came, so it was April, and I was like, okay, this is enough now. I have to do something, and I have to at least finish the projects that are given from college. And so I just thought I'll just do one or two of the projects to, just pass um, the master's degree that I was doing. But yeah, so I tried to do, I just started going out for photography. So I just took my camera and I started taking photographs of people eating, people enjoying their lives, and people just doing nothing but doing something out of their lives. And that somehow created this story in my head where I was like, okay, if people are just doing nothing but are doing something, they're just out and wasting their time, maybe I can also try that. Maybe I can just be out, out of that room. And I started doing that. I used to wake up and just go out, walk miles and miles. I've walked so much. And that's how I started going out. So one thing that I learned is, as a freelancer, as any individual, the importance of nature, importance of being around people, which made my life very easy during COVID, because I knew what will help. So that was when I started realizing that how stories also are so important, that even if you look at a person, you can create a story of their lives. And it inspired me somehow to just go out, look at people, look at their lives, look at how a child is eating an ice cream and how it's falling on their hands, or just small things where an uncle was reading a newspaper. I used to love watching people. That's what inspired me to just go out and build a positive mindset. I wasn't aiming at that. I just enjoyed it, so I started doing it. Then I bought this small book, and it had 365 things in London that you can see. So I bought that book and I started doing that. Left my project. I don't know what I was doing in my masters. I just started doing this one thing where I used to pick up one thing, go out and just see it, or just try to draw it on that small book. Yeah, that's how I got out of it, and I understood that it's important for me to look at the small things and be positive about it. Also, how you said motivation plays a role in a freelancer's life. So that also, the perspective has changed to action equals motivation equals action equals motivation. So that's a loop that you get into. If you are motivated, you'll do some action, correct? Right. And that will motivate you more to do the other action. So why not start with action? It will motivate you to do the other action that you need to do. That's why just do it. And that's why you just don't think too much, don't get into, your head is very complicated, but life is very simple. So I think all the complications and things happen here. But life is simple. You just do it. Just you have an idea, just like do it. It's fine. Like I was doing this 100 heads in 10 days project. I thought I'll just do it. I did it. I did 50. And that's it. I've stopped now. But the fact that I started, the fact that I was able to draw 50 heads is an achievement. Is something that I wouldn't have done if I just thought about, okay, maybe I don't have the time, maybe I won't be able to finish it. Finishing is not what matters. The process matters. The idea of starting something matters. So also, like there was this thing, somebody asked me, what are your goals in life? And I'm like, yeah, there are goals. There are goals like I want to lose more weight, but there is no certain goal to my life where if I achieve that, that'll make me happy. If the goal makes me happy, talking to you right now won't make me happy. Doing my work won't make me happy. Or having my coffee won't make me happy. Because that goal in my head will make me happy, which shouldn't be.
Wow.
So attaining a goal is not something I focus at. It's almost everything small that I live by and I enjoy. It's like I'm sure you must have heard of live in the present more. Like that's something that everybody says.
Right.
So I understood the importance of that too, because staying in that room for 4 months made me understand that I was just looking for something to happen to me. It won't unless I get up and get out and do something and start enjoying the present. So I understood that my past is what I need to learn from. My future is what I need to be excited about. But my present is what I live in, like, or what I enjoy. So it helps me get through anything in life where I'm like, okay, my present is fine. I can breathe. I can drink water. I can walk. That's amazing. And I'm really grateful for that. It just helps me go along the journey and be happy about the challenges. Or it's not like as a freelancer, you don't face challenges in a day or during a week. There are different challenges, but you just figure it out. You look at it as a challenge and something you learn from. So it helps me to just be in the moment and figure out a solution to a problem rather than cribbing about it or being sad about it.
Wow, man. Like you actually untangled the positivity, how to get into it. Like everyone says it, like you mentioned, live in present, but no one actually does. Like, but you actually show the way. Again, this is how you can do it as well. It is very simple, I guess. It sounds simple though. I'm not sure if it is. Wow.
It's practice, consistency and practice. Anything is. I feel if you're consistent with something, it becomes a habit. There's this book called Atomic Habits.
Yeah.
I've heard of it. It talks sense. Like you don't focus on one goal, you focus on the system that you develop on a daily basis. That creates your personality. And it has helped me a lot. So I'd suggest anybody that like just enjoy the process. There's nothing that's going to happen that's going to make you happy. And I think that's because of the weight loss journey, because or like you have this perfect body image and you have this social media telling you every day, this is how you should look. And I'm like, yeah, this is how it should be. This is how it looks. It's so nice and it's so happy or whatever. But that's not your journey and that's not my journey. That's their journey. And I'm happy for them, but it can't be my journey. I have to understand that my journey is what I was yesterday and what I am today, what I will be tomorrow. But it can't be compared with what I see online, what I see other people doing. It's going to bring me down. or I'll either feel that I'm doing much more than I should, or I'll feel I am doing less than I should do. It's mostly less. But yeah, it's just like there. Obviously, it's human nature to, think about competition and comparison, and you always feel like you need to fit in the society.
Right.
But try, like, it's good to be different. It's good to see who you are rather than fit in the society of how people see it or your surroundings see it.
Amazing. And as you mentioned, the process, enjoying the process is literally very important because goals change. Like goals changes once you get into the process. When you start, the goal is different, and when you move on to the process, the goal automatically shifts to a different direction as well. So if you are consistent with your process, the goal you could definitely achieve and enjoy at least what you are doing in it. Wow, amazing. So people who have been, like, few people have that influence over someone, probably your friends or your faculties or people you look after, your parents maybe. So who are those people, or what influence they brought into you, if there are any?
Like my ideals, you're saying.
Yeah, probably, or the people you, not just ideals, yeah, but people you look after and they have somehow influenced your decisions as well in your journey. Like probably one example, if I would say, to clarify the question more, is if a person looks after a, a hotshot designer, his journey would be very different because he wants to be a hotshot designer. He looks after that person. But if a person looks after a very low-key designer, but a good work designer, a designer who works in a very closed environment but works very amazingly, but is not very famous, here's the person who looks after them, their journey would be very different from the person who look after that. So just to clarify the question, not talking about this, but yeah, I guess it done.
Yeah. So basically, when I was in Srishti, I used to look at designers and aspire to be like them. But in London, the perspective changed when I was babysitting a small girl. She's 11 years old. And she started showing me life in a very different way. In the sense, she used to talk about her school life, and she was hungry, or she, like, very basic things. Like just having that chocolate from the counter. And I'd say she's somebody who has made a very big difference in my life because I started looking at life how she did. She has taught me so much in terms of how I say that I want to live in the moment and I want to stay in the present. It's her who showed me that that's what is important, that's how you enjoy life. She also had problems, where she was like, oh, at school mein ye hua, and I was bullied in school. And I was like, it's okay, things will happen. And it was so nice to just see how she looks at life. So I'd say there are big influences, obviously. When you work with big artists, you see how anything is possible. Like with working with artists has taught me one thing, that you will finish a project no matter what. If the deadline is there, if it's raining, if there's like harsh sun, if you have to climb, I don't know, paint 300 feet wall in a week's time, you can do it if there's a deadline. There is, like, I don't know how. I finished projects which seemed impossible when I started them or while I was doing it. It just happens. If you know a deadline, you finish it. So, yeah, that's something I learned from working with artists. But if you ask me an idol or something I look at that I want to become like them, no, there isn't anything like that. But there are books that I really enjoyed and I learned from. There are movies that I learned from, even if it's Kung Fu Panda. I don't know. It's nice to learn from them and make them your eye. I want to be like oh, and just be amazing and fat. But yeah, it changes over time. There's no one person who influences one's life, or there's no one person I want to be like. There's just me who I want to be like. But yeah, people obviously inspire me, influence me.
So every little
Even if,
things does that.
yeah, like there's this one more, how do I say it? One more person in my life who's very rude and harsh and says things that aren't nice at all. But when I'm working with that person, it's amazing. I feel like I'm learning so much. When he says something to me, I'm like, it's his brain and his life that he's saying something to me. But when he says it, I learn, and I look forward to that learning rather than the harsh words that they use. So it's very difficult, but it's also nice when I look at it all together in terms of what I learned. Because you know how it feels when somebody is like, oh, chicken head, oh, you are not worth doing anything, and okay, fine. We are not good. Okay, so it also brings me to one more thing which I do is criticism, which I think as freelancers everybody faces, where people criticize your work,
Right.
like this is not good, that is not good. I feel like you don't have to listen to everything. Okay, listen to everything, reflect back on it, filter it out. Filter out what doesn't make sense to you, what doesn't make sense to your process. But listen, and don't take it negatively also, ki I'm not good enough. You are good enough, but maybe there are things that you can work on. So we got to look at what people say, but not make it the thing to work on if that's not required. Because they know 0.001% of how you know yourself or what you know about you. So they'll never be able to give you a full, complete analysis of what you do right, what you do wrong. They'll just give you analysis of what they know of you. And that's why it becomes very important to filter out things that you take as feedback from others. It's you shouldn't work for free, but you should also understand that you need to work. You can't not work just because you're not getting paid. Even if it's your own thing or if it's somebody else, also you learn from what they have to tell you. Like, okay, again, I did one more project and they said we'll not send you a contract, and I was like, then I can't work, I'm sorry. So they were like, no, but you can and you should, and this is a big company and blah blah blah. And I was like, no, I need a contract. If it says whatever, small amount, big amount, doesn't matter, but it's a contract and I need a contract before I work. So you draw those boundaries where you decide that, okay, I will work for, say, if it's a very big company, they won't make you work for free anyways. But still, if it's a very big opportunity and they'd like you to do it, you have to put your hands down and do it if it's what you actually want and it'll benefit you later or whatever. But if it's not worth the time and the energy that you have put in after that, 1 week of free trial or whatever, then you just say no and tell them sorry. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. Contract is the every freelancer, being a small or a big freelancer, they already know that contract is important, but then they never do it, including myself. I also sometimes let it pass because client and
No, you should ask for at least an email always before you start for somebody.
It is important, definitely. So, any advices you would like to give yourself, your younger self, or someone who is just starting your path right now in the initial days? And like, you have already given a lot, but any advice that you missed out somehow and you want to give it to the people or yourself, the younger self of you, that could help them make their journey easier?
I think like every other parent, my father also said, "Beta jaldi utho, beta jaldi utho aur tab kaam karo, like that solve all your problems." And I think that's what I'm going to say right now. Wake up early.
Oh my god.
I wish I did.
I was expecting something else, but yeah.
So as I mentioned earlier, there was Arushi sleep on time, eat on time thing going on in my life in Srishti. I used to sleep 9 o'clock in the morning sometimes and wake up at 3 in the afternoon. So it gives you bad body and bad dark circles, and your mind is all over the place, and it just ruins everything that's possibly can be right. So that's I wish I was the early waker. So I try to now. It's not something that I'm really good at, and I'm still able to wake up at 4:30. But it's becoming better. On days I am able to wake up at 4:30. It will help a lot. I don't know how to put it in better words, but just wake up early. And you'll have a lot more time, a lot more positive energy, a lot more things to do. Maybe I'm sounding a little bit like a grandma because like people are generation sleep.
No, but definitely it is a fact that waking up early makes your day better. I was listening to this interview by Robin Sharma, his 5 a.m. about his 5 a.m. club. So he mentioned this 20-20-20 rule. When you wake up in the morning, you should have a dedicated routine and time for waking up and going to bed and following that 5 a.m. rule, but which is very far away from where I come from. I don't even want to mention when I wake up, but yeah. So you wake up at 4:30 in the morning, or you're trying to?
I did for 2 months. Then winters came and I became a little bit lazy. But I'm going to try again. I'm trying again.
Wow. So when you even sleep, like 9:30.
I sleep around 10, I think.
Wow, that's an achievement, I guess.
It will be if I'm able to. But okay, so they say that when from 9 to 12 in the night, your sleep hours are into 2.
Oh.
And from morning 3 to 6, your sleep hours are half. So suppose you're sleeping from 9 till 3, you're actually sleeping for 9 hours. But those morning hours are equivalent to half hours. And I didn't believe it initially, but when I tried it, it actually made sense. Like people who work in the night, your productivity also goes up from 3 to 6 in the night. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you have, but I was somebody like that.
Definitely.
When I read, because again, universe, spirituality, but people, your surroundings wake up at that time. So everybody wakes up. There's a different sort of energy around you. The birds, the plants, they all wake up. And it generates this energy of being awake. And when it's night, people, like, everything slows down, everything goes to sleep. So the whole, you know how in Atomic Habits, how he talks about little things combined together make the big thing?
Right.
It's like that. All little things around you, if they are doing the same thing, it'll look like a community, look like a whole. So that's how I figured it works. And I try to follow it. It's difficult, but it's not impossible.
Listening to you, I even want to try it for at least a week or so. Probably. It is going to be very difficult for me. Probably impossible as well, but then yeah, can give it a shot.
Yeah, you can actually make like whatever you like to do, you do that first thing in the morning. So, say if you like to run, that's also one of my solutions to anything. I just run. I go for a run, and it just makes me feel a lot better. And sometimes it happens that while I'm running, the problem is solved. Somebody will message me, somebody will be like, oh, okay, this we'll sort out. Okay, that works. So that's something that's I've attached in my head that running will solve the problem. So yeah, so coming back to the point, you said you attach something that you like to waking up in the morning.
Okay.
So it can be anything, whatever you like. You just do first thing in the morning when you wake up and you're like, okay, it's not a bad day. It's not bad to wake up early.
Maybe. I don't know. We'll give it a shot, definitely. Sounds fun right now, but yeah, I know it will be very difficult for me. I wake up around 10, 11-ish. So it's a big shift. But yeah, let's see. So our conversation has been full of like knowledge and your journey, your experience, and it was a growing experience for me as well, to be very honest. Like there were lots of myths and stuff that was shattered for me, and I got some new perspective towards freelancing as well. And I'm sure a lot of freelancers would get it as well. So, and definitely they would want to contact you. So would you, if you are willing to get connected with few of them, so where could people actually get in touch with you, or like or probably Instagram handle or your website or something, if you'd like to mention it?
Yeah, Instagram is the best. Although I've deleted the app, but I do check it a few times a day.
So can you mention your Instagram handle to the listeners?
It's Arushi, ARUSHI 306.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Arushi.
What was the other thing you were?
Sorry?
No, and I have a question. The other thing you said that you expected when I was about to tell one thing for people to do.
I expected that you should not listen to your parents saying you waking up early, it doesn't matter. You should. Because it was my comfort to hear that. That's why, probably, because I am a very good sleeper. Like, I hate waking up early. I try to do it. I tried waking up early at 6:30 for 2-3 months in a row. I followed a very strict routine. As soon as I wake up, I used to do 20 minutes fast workout, then 20-minute meditation, and then go to read, then reflect on it and read some books or stuff like that. But then I still do it. If I wake up at 9 or 9:30 as well, I try to follow a routine. The first hour of the day is mine. That's how I take it. But then it gets difficult for me to manage it. I don't know, maybe it's just in my head, because I'm an extreme sleeper from my childhood. Like, I can't even describe it. I'm a very, very extreme sleeper. But definitely, please, yeah.
I'm saying I was a similar person. You just do it. It's fine. Just do it.
Probably. Let's see if it works out somehow for me as well. My family would be the happiest. They have a mindset that if you wake up early, everything will sort out in your life. Like, सब कुछ बढ़िया है, बस तू सोता बहुत है, इसलिए everything is going here. अगर तू जल्दी उठने लग जाएगा, तो everything will work out as well. Maybe.
When I woke up ऐसे one day suddenly, and my father was like, "अरे, तुम सोई नहीं हो क्या रात को?" I said, "नहीं, मैं उठ गई हूँ."
I can totally relate to it. There were days I used to wake up earlier than my parents as well. But then there were days. a month or so, but I completely am away from
I
it.
feel like right reasons to why I should wake up early. That's what's helped me. Knowing that, that half hour, an hour, double the hour thing. Or how it did actually help me when I practiced it. Noticing and reflecting on that has helped me understand the importance of it.
And that kind of attracted me to like even try it. That's what I said. Like jokes apart, when you mentioned like 9 to 3 actually makes your sleep double. So I used to sleep around 10:30 when I used to wake up at 6:30. So it somehow actually helped me like have a good day. Matlab, mind was very calm during the day. But now since I wake up at 11, I feel lazy the whole day somehow. So
Yeah.
probably it is like if you're saying so, it could be a scientific reason that things go that way. And that's the reason I could probably give it a shot now as well. Because if you have a good night's sleep, everything is actually perfect in your day. Like you have a very happy mood and things actually work out in your favor then.
Yeah. Yeah. Your journey, your process will be very different from mine. So don't be scared or don't be like, oh, I can't do this and other people. So yeah, I have this page. I think it can help people. Page as in my journal, where I have written solutions to problems not to problems, but just solutions. So when I'm low, when I'm not feeling up to it, I open that page and it has basic solutions like drink water, breathe, or it's okay, restart, and just very basic things. And it helps me in terms of when I'm feeling low, I open the page, whatever I see, I do it. So, because when you are in that state of mind, you forget that there is a solution to state of mind. There is a solution to how you're feeling. So, yeah, that's something that can help people if you tend to go back to, a feeling that is not great, is pulling you down.
Wow, that's something new and interesting. I never heard of something like that. It's so smart. Like you can actually write things which can make you feel good, and it could be personalized, right? And just flip the page and you have a good mood. You can have a good mood if you. Any closing line or like for the audience or for the listeners, for any closing line or sentence or a quote you live by to end sum up everything we have discussed right now?
Yeah, just do it is what I live by. It's I don't know if I'm allowed to say this or not, but no fucks given is also something I follow a lot. So overthinking has been a very big problem around me. Not me like I've also done it, but people around me do overthink a lot. And I just tell them to not give fucks about it. It's not important. So yeah, don't give fucks. It's fine. Just do it.
Sounds amazing. So again, thank you so much for this amazing conversation and untangling so many aspects of the journey. Really loved it and enjoyed it to the core. Thank you.